Beyblade X Season 2 is on the horizon, so let us talk about what we have seen with any information that has been kind of given to us and kind of go over any kind of updates. So let us begin. Now, first of all, let's talk about the fact that Beyblade X for the anime for Season 1 has technically ended. So I think onwards, it's not even technically Season 2, I'm just saying Season 2 for the sake of the discussion. It's technically episode 52, but the anime does return on October 18th, which is very exciting. We've got very much a lot of fun things to kind of go over. There are two things we'll kind of touch on. One is the preview at the end of the episode and the 52 teaser. So one of the things that you'll notice is we have a new character, which is Tenka, I think it's Shiroboshi, I'm pretty sure. So she is the owner of Samurai Saber, an upcoming release that's going to be coming out in November, which is going to have a very cool, what is it? It's like a katana themed launcher, katana sword launcher, which is really, really neat. What's even more interesting is kind of how this ability works for Samurai Saber, at least based on the manga. What it seems like is once it activates at like this high speed, these blades will kind of pop out. And it's kind of reminds me of in the past of like a Chozi Awakening, where I guess it's trying to go for like one powerful slash or like one hit slash or kill or whatever. So it seems like a very interesting ability that we're going to eventually see more showcasing of later on this month for news information and eventually November in hand. So very interesting is that the preview starts off with Hellscythe bursting drawn sword. Now what I'm assuming this is probably going to be is some dream sequence where Bird is sleeping at the sushi place and then he wakes up. Because there's no way he actually just beats Common X by burst. That's not going to be something that they're just going to throw right at the start of the season. It's probably going to be like he thought he won and then he didn't. Now, we also see, interesting enough, actually, we see, what is it, number 1, whatever, Ichigo. We see Leon Crest. Now, actually, what we see in part of the manga getting into the new season and story, we see Yggdrasil versus Zuganic. So I'm assuming we're going to see actually the match of Burn Fujiwara and King Manju, since we didn't really see it in the manga. So I'm kind of, I don't know, kind of right now. Afterwards, we see a showcase of Whale Wave against Hell's Chain. Whale Wave, for those that are wondering, Multi made it for Mako, so that way when they're practicing, they have more options to practice against, because a balance type is more versatile than just a pure attack type, which I think is a nice thing that they have kind of written to kind of give Mako more use for like trading and sparring. We do see where it's kind of leading, where she's kind of doing like this big extreme dash, which I'm assuming is maybe connected to our special extreme dash that she does against Tenka, where it's like Gigant bleaching or whatever the move's called. Speaking of which, we see Tenka Shiroboshi. So this seems to be kind of referencing that one shot where she's kind of showcasing her Bei with its Samurai Saber, which we're going to be seeing in November. Now, particularly very interesting is a lot of the silhouettes of bladers that we see Team Persona kind of looking on in this menacing sky. Now, I'm assuming this might be a mix of potentially what we kind of saw in the teaser for the manga for the upcoming season, where there are going to be other towers that they can explore. So this could potentially just be maybe just the upcoming teams we're going to see for the rest of this year. This could potentially maybe be the other teams that are at the top. I'm very curious to see where they go with the direction that they have. One of the towers does have the Pegasus constellation, and I'm kind of wondering if maybe it's going to be one of the things, or maybe like the first half of this season they conquer one half of that tower, and the other half is maybe the other tower, and like fucking, I don't know, maybe like there's like multiple teams that are also at the top, like they have to conquer one side, the other side, maybe there's like just a lot of top competing teams, make it interesting, I don't know. Interesting enough, we also see like this kind of creature enigma thing where it's kind of like flying around and it eventually takes the shape of like a dragon. Now I'm kind of wondering what this thing is. It kind of reminds me in the shape of Lost Longinus for kind of like that little dragon shaped thing. I don't know what that is. Originally I thought this was like supposed to be Aero Pegasus. I do have a strong feeling that, obviously speaking, if they're going to be showing this kind of creature, that there's got to be some purpose to it. Like, is this probably one of the main antagonists, like Bays or whatever, that's kind of like flying around? Could potentially be related to Chrome. This is maybe Dragoon's next step, and maybe it gets like a new variant of Dragoon or something like that, potentially. We do see kind of now part of this kind of continuing with the showcase of Phoenix Rudder and Leon Crest. So after that, I just do another shot of Tenka, where this is directly from the manga when she's posing. I don't know if this probably is from some future chapter or whatever, but we do see a nice shot of King reacting to Burn Fujiwara with the flames, and we see Burn Fujiwara doing a nice pose and a nice reference to the manga with beautiful animation of the fire coming out. So that's really nice. Hopefully the anime for season 2's got like a clear creative direction. The rest of it is just kind of Tenka moving around in the area, and we do see a little bit of Samurai Saber against Drawn Buster. We do see a little bit of the bit that she has. So this is against Common X, and then after kind of flashes with Persona and just goes to their launches. So something I was thinking about when reading the 52 summary, I think no matter what, we'll probably get the Ziganic and Yggdrasil probably at the start, and maybe that's like the opening part before we get to like the actual opening. But I think for the rest of the episode, it'll probably be where Team Persona is bored, we get the Mako training. More interesting is they mentioned Pendragon, because technically speaking, they almost lost. Like, it was very close, because Chrome lost, and Shiru is very close to losing. So Shiru being nervous makes a lot of sense. Now, what I'm a little bit curious on is because we have Silver Wolf, and because all of Team Pendragon is a Bakuten Shoot reference, does Shiru potentially get, like, Silver Wolf? Because otherwise, I don't really understand if it's going to just belong to some other character. I know there's been a very popular theory that in the silhouettes of those random characters that we see, that maybe that could be X's master, and maybe he owns, like, that Wolf Bay, which I can understand the connection. I would think it's lame if you basically have this whole thing where an entire team is based on this one theme, and then they kind of deviate from it. So, I mean, I guess we'll eventually see. Now, more interesting than that is the episode 52 preview, which in episode 52, what they basically kind of show was just Tenka and the Sakura forest. But, like, there's, like, this thing that's floating around or whatever, like some weird, that dragon thing we kind of saw from before. So I'm kind of curious if there's going to be some big antagonistic force against Team Persona, or what the hell's going on here. I think the following season has a lot of interesting stuff we could probably delve into, so I'm very, very curious to see actually what we could get. I think something also really funny just to end off with is it's kind of funny how we're kind of leading on to the new season, because we don't really have anything to go by for Silver Wolf, and I mean the Bear Stadium, I don't really think we're going to see much of it. It'd be interesting to see if the Karatomi does any filler with that stadium and maybe makes up some filler later to own that Bear Bay. But I'm fairly certain probably a lot of the actual Season 2 stuff, other than like the Whale Wave, we'll probably see mostly in the November releases. So it's going to be like this weird gap of us waiting. What are your predictions for Season 2? What are you hoping for? Who do you want to see return? Who do you want to see more of? What do you want for the season? Something I would love to see in this season moving forward would be, please, for the love of God, I would love to see them actually try to make more, like, kind of stakes and narrative tension. I feel like we didn't really get that much with Season 1 because Bird loses and there's no real consequence to it, like Multi and Common X just win. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty big criticism. Because, I mean, like, the only times that it actually mattered was the Cat Over test, where Bird had to at least survive. But also, I guess, the 2v2 that they did in the manga. I can't think what else. I guess also in the anime, when Multi loses in the Team Dream battle, I guess that also kind of, I don't know. Hopefully they can write, like, interesting scenarios for the characters, I guess. But, make sure to check out Mala Bays. We have restocked on the Whale Wave and the El Dragos. And also, stay tuned, because later in October, there's going to be pre-orders for the November releases. But yes, option way to support the channel. I appreciate any support regardless. That's kind of it for this video. I want to say thank you all for watching. That's going to be it for now. I want to say take care and bye.